Hey guys, it's Justin here with a disclaimer for today's video. Please understand that this video could be triggering for people who've experienced the loss of a loved one, depression, or suicidal thoughts. This video is intended for informational purposes only and to start a conversation that is needed in our community. If you've experienced any of these, please remember that there are resources available for you in the community and abroad. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always leave a comment for us, and one of us will reach out to you to help you find those resources in your community. Thank you and enjoy the video. Have to have this conversation. If you're married, if you're, not if you're just first starting out dating somebody. Don't go talking about where you want to be buried. Don't do that. But if you're married and you haven't had this conversation, then you're behind already. You're already too late.
Hey y'all,
Hello.
it's What's the Secret with Desmond.
And Justin.
We're back with another episode for you guys. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
And comment down below. And most of all, we need you to ring that bell. Because you don't ever want to miss an episode that we post every week right here on What's the Secret with Desmond and Justin. So, today, what are we talking about?
So, there is a current story or a recent event that happened in the news about this gay couple, this married couple. So, I'm going to read a brief synopsis of their story, and then we'll talk about a few things and how it can relate to us and you guys as well. So, it begins by saying, when a love story turns into a nightmare. Pierre moved to Atlanta from Paris to start a new life. He was an interior designer, so he believed that Atlanta was the right fit for him. He dealt with the normalized toxic culture of friendship and dating in Atlanta. Despite his difficult journey, Pierre eventually found love. He found someone who valued him as a person. He found it who accepted his flaws. He found someone who was willing to teach and learn. But most of all, he found someone who valued him as a human being. Madly in love, last month, or previous month, Pierre decided to honor their union and was prepared to ask his love's hand in marriage. First, they went out to the club. His partner complained he wasn't feeling well. Next thing you know, the love of his life fell dead on the dance floor in Pierre's arms. Although many friends tried to comfort Pierre over the past few weeks, the grief was too much. Pierre wanted to spend forever with his partner, so on Friday morning, he hung himself. So this story, when I read it, it kind of just shocked me. And it struck a nerve just for various reasons. One thing is mental health is real. And for people who look like us, brown and black people, it's a real struggle because of the deeply rooted spirituality and religion, and that separation of religion and therapy and mental health. So this is one of those instances where it was clear that he needed help. I do get that grief can cause us to do certain things of that sort, but that just goes to show that, having someone there could have probably helped Pierre. I did not know either of them, but I think you recognized.
Yes, I recognized one of the names and the story behind it. So it's a very true story, and I could not imagine one moving across, a whole new country to be with the love of my life. I moved from Georgia to Texas here to be with the love of my life, and I could not imagine having to go through that transition and deal with that. So the basis of the story is, you guys, we've got to check on each other there's a thing that people say you got to check on your strong friends. It's very true.
Very true.
You have to check on your strong friends because although they may be a leader, they may be a great fashion designer or clothing designer or whatever it is, they may be a great friend to you and they may seem strong, but it's not always the case. We've learned that these coronavirus masks are not the only masks that we're wearing right now. So one thing, it's okay not to be okay. It is, but it's not okay to stay in that position. So you gotta get some help. You gotta talk to somebody.
Yeah, I agree. Another topic that we'll eventually talk about is fears, and one of those for me is death. I don't necessarily fear death, but the outcome of it. I have not lost anyone really, really close to me. So my mom, my dad, grandparents, siblings, all of those people are still around. So I just know for me, it's going to be really, really difficult because that's how old I am. But I don't take it very well, even with someone, when I lost my aunt and cousin who were murdered. That was really difficult for me, for all of us. That was the closest that it had ever been, that death had ever come, to my, in my life. So that was really difficult. And it's one of the things that we don't talk about often, but he knows that's a huge thing for me. But it kind of opens your eyes when you hear stories like this because, what plans do you have in place? What kind of things are you talking about with your loved ones in terms of your house, your car, things that you're going to leave this world that's still here after you're gone? Any type of succession planning, will planning, if you have businesses, all of that type of stuff. That's important to talk about it even at an early age. I know I talked to my grandparents who are in their 70s now. And we still need to have that conversation. They have stuff in place, but we have to talk about it so that I know, my brother knows, my dad knows about, exactly what they want to happen. We're talking about funeral planning, all of that stuff. And when my aunt and cousin passed, that's one of the things that we realized, like, oh my God, there's a lot that goes with this. Justin and I actually had to plan the entire thing.
Double funeral.
Yeah, a double funeral, which was really, really difficult, emotional, but a hard work.
So I think it's very important for us to identify and make sure people know it's okay to talk about death in your relationships. It's okay to talk about you not being, I want to be with him forever, but at some point forever has to end. And there's a part in there that says, till death do us part. And there is, eventually that may happen, that will happen. And I think a lot of us in the LGBTQIA plus community, we don't talk about it. But it's very important to remember that yes, we are married, but there are so many systems in place in this country that can undermine that marriage. If I'm in the hospital, or if he's in the hospital, there are so many systems in place that can undermine that marriage, even though it's legal, and can cause things to go a different direction. We're blessed because our families, I don't see our families kind of pulling those kind of stunts, getting in the hospital or something like that.
We don't have those.
We don't have those issues in our families. But that may be your story. That may be something that you have to.
Then again, you never know.
And then again, you don't.
Because death brings about a lot of, the side of people that we don't know. A lot of issues.
Oh yeah. So it's very important. And I know today's topic is really, really a little, it's kind of on the serious side. But we have to put it out there because one, we felt so compelled after reading that story. We felt so compelled to put it out there to everyone that you have to have this conversation. If you're married, if you're not if you're just first starting out dating somebody. Don't go talking about where you want to be buried. Don't do that. But if you're married and you haven't had this conversation, then you're behind already. You're already too late. If you're really serious about this person and you guys are 5 years into this, you need to have this conversation because you just never really know what may happen tomorrow. Although we do want to wake up in the morning and go about our day, that may not be the promise of tomorrow. It's a reality.
Absolutely. So final thoughts about this. I would definitely say, Justin said it earlier, but it's okay not to be okay. But it's not okay to just stay there. You have to talk up. You have to speak up. You have to find someone that you can confide in because it's just important. You can't do it alone. It's just like the story we just talked about. It's clear that you can't do it alone. He didn't feel, I can't say it to be, honestly, I don't know that to be true, but it just doesn't feel like he had someone that, he could confide in. Or he was just literally that much in love that he just wanted to be with this person. But you gotta talk. You gotta, it's okay to not be okay, but you gotta talk about it.
And if you need help finding someone, if you need resources, there's a website right there for the NAMI that's coming across the screen. That's the Mental Health Alliance of America. And you can go there, you can find resources in your community, put in your zip code in your city, and you can locate a lot of resources in your community that can help you through depression, that can give you an outlet to talk to somebody, or that can even find you case management services and resources in your community.
Thank you guys for watching. Tune in every week for another episode of What's the Secret. We have these great topics, or these serious topics, but we have fun. We do games. It's just really enjoyable. So don't forget to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment down below.
The most important thing,
ring that bell.
We love to ring the bell.
Yes, we do. All right, guys. We'll see you next time right here. Same time, same place. Bye.